What's good? This is The Truth Hurts. I'm Jeff Weiss doing a solo episode with the mighty Blue.
Yeah. What up, y'all? BLU.
An LA legend. If you're of, I feel of our generation, you were the Messiah. Not to embarrass you, but like when you first came out, I had friends texting me being like, have you heard this guy? Like, you know what I mean? Like in the entire underground. And that was, I think, the last time I'd actually spoken to you was I talked to you. I think you were maybe about to put out Crack Knuckles. Or like you'd already put out Below the Heavens, and then you were putting out Crack Knuckles.
Yep.
And so this was like 2007. We did it was the face of Los Angeles, like the new face of Los Angeles store for LA Weekly.
Oh, okay.
And it was you, it was the Nux, it was Pac Div, and it was Bishop Lamont.
Come on, what?
Yeah, it was like it doesn't take you back.
Fire,
You're like, damn, that was a moment in time.
Come on.
But
shout out to all those brothers.
you were born like in the 50s, right, in South LA?
Yeah. Call me for a second. I was like,
not in the 1950s. It's like Back to the Future.
Yep.
And then you grew up kind of all around like LA.
Exactly, man. Yep.
Yeah. What
All
parts
over.
of where like did you bounce around to?
Carson, Long Beach, Pedro, Hawthorne, West Covina, Santa Monica, Highland Park, Compton.
And this is like all in the first 10 years of your life?
No, this is all
Like
this
your
is-
whole life?
Yeah, my whole life. Yeah.
Do you have a first memory?
A first memory. I felt like I remember coming out the hospital when I was born. I feel like I remember that. I don't know if my mom was telling me stories and it kind of made a memory.
Yeah.
That's what I'm, but I feel like I remember that.
That's cool. What and then do you remember the first like song you ever loved when you were a kid?
Oh, loved?
Yeah.
First song, that the earliest song I could think of that I dug was Fat Boys Are Back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fat
Did you see those
Boys
like
Are
Fat
Back.
Boys movies when you were a kid?
Yeah, I saw that Crush Groove.
Yeah.
Oh man, them
Disorderly
coming down
and
the
Crush Groove,
stairs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Beatboxing and shit. I was like, my dad was like, yeah, it's the Fat Boys. You know what I mean? But earlier memory though of music,
Yeah.
I remember hearing Biz Markie make the music with your mouth biz.
Yeah.
I felt like I was 3.
Wow.
And I felt like it was the most terrifying shit I ever heard. Like at the end of the song when it's just the echoes and the cuts, make the music, it is just going. That used to scare the shit out of me, dude. I felt like I was like in a car seat when that was going down.
That's cool. Yeah, I was I my Twitter like AVI used to be Biz Markie, because I was like Otto von Biz Markie. So you've probably seen that thing.
Yeah.
That depression helmet.
Come
and
on.
people used to get like I'd say something stupid on Twitter as I'm known to do. And people would get mad at Biz Markie. And I felt really bad. But like then Biz Markie's like nephew was like, no, Biz thought it was funny.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, after he died, like he was like, no, like Biz fucked
Dang,
with.
rest in peace.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
Biz was incredible. I think people don't give him necessarily the props that he deserved. But like he was kind of, if you think about it, what a revolutionary figure for like comedy and hip hop, for like
he was
creativity.
like the biggest shit for a second. You know what I mean? Like the biggest shit.
I mean, think about Just a Friend. Like he's coming down in
And
a powdered wig.
Come on. Producing all that shit.
Yeah.
Got crazy digs. He was always digging and spinning and
Juice Crew,
what I
like
mean?
legend, beatboxing,
come on,
man.
Biz is the fucking man, bro.
Yeah. What about, was there like a first rapper that you really, well, I think going back, like you weren't allowed to hear rap music until you were like about 12, 13 years old,
Well,
right?
my mom remarried a pastor when I was 7.
Yeah.
No, 6. So I was listening to hip hop up until then.
Yeah.
And then not until I was 14, I was sneak shit, you know what I mean? But like I wasn't able to, like, my dad got custody of me when I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got Mace Harlem World.
Yeah. Classic.
Big Willie Style.
Yeah.
And The Firm.
you had all
Those
all
were
the
my
food
first
groups
3. Yeah, And that led to Redman, Cannabis, Common, Nas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then those are rap.
And then DMX, right? Wasn't it your
Oh
first?
yeah, DMX was DMX was right after those three, and that's what helped get into Redman, Cannabis through like the LL 4321.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but the Mace introduced me to DMX.
Yeah.
He
because 24 hours.
24 hours, and that niggas want to shout, I'm gonna make noise. Mace is coming out. Yeah, that shit was hard.
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy how like DMX. Like I also think about it, or also how like Jay-Z kind of introduced like Ja Rule to the world, where it's like nothing against Ja Rule.
Yeah, what was it? Can I Get Her?
Yeah, but like everyone's like, nah, Ja Rule's like kind of cool because you're like Jay-Z's guy, and then you're like 3 years later, everyone's like kind of clowning him. And you're like,
I was big on DMX.
Yeah.
Vini Vidi Vici was pretty fire though.
Yeah.
It was some raw shit on there.
Yeah.
You know, Murder Inc. The original Murder Inc.
Yeah, like
Jay-Z.
Ja Rule had bang. Yeah, like Jay-Z, I feel like a lot of
X.
There was like a internet meme where it was like actually like people were saying how Ja Rule's music held up better than 50 Cent's like music, and I don't think that's true. But
damn.
I do think if you went like
hell no,
like if you go some of the singles.
Like
they can go to like
50,
song 4.
Like 50 mixtapes are like classic
incredible.
albums.
Yeah, 50 Cent is a few.
Like classic albums. You know
totally.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like amazing songwriting. Yeah, like Ja has some good songwriting though.
He was pretty, living it up. Like you're like,
yo, 50 nah.
If you're like on a speedboat,
50.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. No, those mixtapes are incredible. So, like, did you have any? So then you moved. Was that when you moved to San Pedro when you were like 14?
Yeah, when I was 14. Yeah.
And then,
but I lived through LA through all. You know, I moved to Riverside for like 3-4 years, on and off. Like I'll move and come back But I moved to Pedro. Went to high school when I was 14. Yeah.
How did like having like a pastor for a stepfather like impact? Was religion kind of a big part of your life? Did you kind of go to church every Sunday? I assume.
I learned a lot from my grandfather.
Yeah.
Religiously.
Yeah.
You know, he was Christian as well, but he was like Freemason, and he believed we were all gods, you know, based on Bible scriptures. You know what I mean? So he would break down the Bible a little different to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I tended to lean towards what he was teaching a lot more.
Was he from Los Angeles or did
he
move there?
He moved there.
Yeah.
He moved there. He was from Arkansas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then what did he do for a living?
He had a few car washes. The song "Car Wash" was about his car wash.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
He knew Rose Royce.
Yeah, no, the conga player wrote it. And
yeah.
He was working for my grandfather.
That's great. Where was the car wash?
He had one in Santa. This was way before I was born.
Yeah.
Shit. But he had one in Santa Monica and one in L.A. somewhere. And yeah. Hugh Hefner, Dean Martin would all get their cars detailed by him. You know what I mean?
I was having a conversation with my friend actually. Like we were in Atlanta and this DJ played the song "Car Wash" and he's a rapper, Archibald Slim, incredible rapper. And he looks at me, he goes, "Man, imagine how great it would have been to hear it like Car Wash when it first came out." He's like, "These motherfuckers were so excited about a car wash." You know what I mean? It's like what an era, like where people were writing songs about like, I love the car wash.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the story of the homie who was playing congas, but he was having fun at the car wash, meeting cool. all the Hollywood people and shit. Cool. You know what I mean? He was like, you know.
So you're in high school, and then you went to high school with like Miguel, right? That was how you guys first like linked up. What were you guys pretty good friends at the time, or?
Yeah. I was forming this hip hop crew. I was trying to form the biggest hip hop crew in Pedro to battle this other crew called the Scavengers. And I would walk up to everybody like, yo, do you rap, do you sing, or do you beatbox, any of the hip hop elements to incorporate into the crew. I ended up having like a 20+ man crew, you know what I mean? Miguel, I met in computer class and I was like, you rap? He was like, nah. Beatbox? Nah. Break? Nah. DJ? Nah. He was like, I sing in the choir, you know? And I was like, oh, that's good. Come roll with us. You know what I mean? Roll with us. You beat our singer and shit. And he started singing right there, like, you know, getting into singing. And ended up introducing him to his first manager who held him down for mad years, you know. Like our first songs were together, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he's on Below the Heavens, right?
Oh yeah, he destroyed Below the Heavens, man.
Yeah.
We were flying out to get deals in high school. I was right out of high school. He was still in high school. Megahertz flew us out. I remember High Tech flew out Miguel when he heard our demo.
Oh wow!
In high school, I was in high school then.
How did you get your demo to High Tech?
Through our manager, who I introduced him to, the homie who was working for. He was working for a Wake Up Show.
Okay.
And I heard he used to go to Pedro High, and I heard him, and the homie was like, "Yeah, I know the dude who works at Wake Up Show who was just freestyling last night, on the show." And I was like, "Word, take me to his crib. I'm gonna battle him." So 7:30 in the a.m. we knocking on this fool's door the next day and shit. He opens the door and just fucking draws in a coffee cup, and I'm like, "Yo, fool, let's fucking battle." You know what I mean? Yeah. And he put me on. You know what I mean? He eventually brought me to Wake Up Show. I couldn't get there hella early when I was in high school. I was bad as hell. My pops wouldn't let me go nowhere and shit. You know what I mean? But yeah.
You played basketball too, didn't you?
Played basketball, yep. Dropped out because I broke my ankle dunking in 12th grade. You know what I mean?
What, you landed on something like a basketball or something?
Man, this was the first scrimmage before the last game. First of all, I'm new to the school, so 10th grade I couldn't play.
Yeah.
11th grade, my grades kicked me off. 12th grade was my last year.
Yeah.
To prove to anybody that I could ball if I wanted to do this shit.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Rapping was second, And we had a scrimmage before the first game. And my center was this big ass fool, but he was soft. So I was like, I gotta make this fool hard because he's my fucking center. Totally. So I dunked on him 3 times in a row, right off the rip. You know what I mean? And I came down for the 4th dunk, and this fool just froze under the rim. And I pushed myself off the backboard not to fucking land on this fool, and landed on my ankle, fucking shattered my shit in 7 places. You know what I mean? Didn't even know. The homies pick you up to, walk it off. Yeah. You roll your ankle all the fucking time and shit. And I fucking just slammed on my face. You know what I mean? You hear me echoing through the gym and shit. Fucking dropped out of school right after that. Like, fucking this rapper bus. You know what I mean?
That's a good creation myth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I had to become a rapper because I just dunked on my center.
Yeah,
just
fucking
couldn't handle it. Yeah. No,
4th dunk.
Were you a big Lakers fan growing up?
Penny Hardaway was the man.
Interesting. Yeah.
Penny Hardaway was the illest.
Was it the commercials that sold you?
Nah. It was like NBA Live. Like it was because of Shaq. Shaq was the man. I think he was on the cover of the game in like 96 or 95 or something.
Yeah.
And so I would pick Shaq's team, the Magic, and then this player got 3 steals, all this shit, and it's Penny. So I would always roll with him like, damn, this fool's ill.
He was incredible. Yeah.
And he balled just as incredible as the fucking game module, And he was my favorite.
So you drop out of school, you're like going like do or die with rap, and then you find this manager, and then you're just passing around your demo. How does it work?
Yeah, I met him in high school. Like I told him I was dropping out. Like, yo, let me crash on your crib, dog. He was like, nah, dude. It's like, fucking nah, you gotta find a way, And but I'm getting demos getting demos out as much as possible. I remember a company from Texas was gonna sign me. They had me recording at Echo Sound. I met MC8. Like, Echo Sound got it, recorded all kind of crazy shit. And they had us at the Sony or the Paramount Studios, too. The Paramount Studios, big studios, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like fucking 16, 17, you know what I mean? Just getting into hip-hop type shit, but I'm nosediving full into that shit, freestyling every hour of the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Battling fools every fucking day, ditching the Melrose, ditching school from Pedro to Melrose is like, on the bus, is like 3 hours.
Yeah.
That shit is like,
you're right. It's an hour with a car.
Yeah.
With a bunch of transfers.
Oh man, come on, man. Forever, That shit is forever. And then we'll get down there and just look for fools to just eat up, because Fat Beats was down there, the graffiti alleys. It was like a hip hop central, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was interesting too, right? Because this must have been the Dilated was like the big
Yeah,
LA group,
hell yeah.
and kind of
J5.
like J5 was everywhere. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't think people understood how big like J5 was in LA. Like,
Oh yeah,
just
J5
like
was
that
live.
EP was. Just,
yeah, that EP was
they
crazy.
gave it to you like when you showed up to school.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, you have to have
Come on.
So and then didn't you at one point didn't Suge try to sign you?
Yes. When was that? I was a little older.
Yeah.
That was right after Megahertz was about to sign us. And then Suge, my cousin was A&R or interning interning at Death Row.
Yeah.
And he was like, I know Suge, I'm gonna get your music to Suge, bro, you know, da da da. And I was like, all right. He was like, Suge heard you. He ready to meet you. And I was like, okay. So I went down there and met Suge and busted him 50 bars, then 64 bars, and then 100 bars. And 100 bars is 5 minutes of rapping.
Yeah.
And this fool had me rapping in front of like 10, 15 bloods that was sitting in the cafeteria. I remember he just opened the door. They all watching TV, eating and shit. He turned off all the TVs and looked at me and said, all right, rap. And I just fucking set it off. You know what I mean? Like, just ripped that shit. Everybody was like, word. Took me to his office. Was like, yo, I'm gonna sign you. What you want? And I was like, a house and a car. You know what I mean? Like,
sensible. Yeah.
House and a car. And then I went back to the crib, talked to my producer who was doing all my shit. And he was working with RBX, you know, and RBX was like, don't fuck with Death Row, dog. They gonna take all your money. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we almost got signed to Interscope. Or not almost, but somebody was interested at Interscope, you know, in the album we was working on. And then around that time, I met Exile.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then everything changed. You know, I had like a few hip hop joints on my first like tape, you know, and it seemed like everybody was congregating, like feeling the hip hop songs the most.
So like your first stuff was like kind of like
it was like I was trying to do like some Rockefeller shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was trying to get signed to the Rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On some West Coast shit. You know what I mean? I was like, you know, shit, if it's not Suge, let's get signed by Jay-Z. You know what I mean?
Could do worse.
You know, yeah. You know. But I had a couple hip hop joints and everybody was feeling those. And then I met Exile and he did cuts on my first tape, like when we were mixing it. And he played me his beats and I just heard Primo, High Tech, Dilla, Pete Rock.
Yeah.
All in his sound. You know what I mean? All in all the shit he was fucking. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, dude, this is the shit that I grew up on. This is the shit that I love. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, let's do some shit, you know what I mean? And I cut a song for his compilation, and right after we cut the song, we were like, yo, we gotta do an album. And it was down, and I ended up getting signed by his label, Sound and Color, because I was just lacing everybody on the label. They were introducing me to it was a label full of producers, and they didn't have no MCs really.
Yeah.
So I just fucking ran through shit, like, you know what I mean? Blazed everybody's shit. And had all these vinyl coming out, you know, all these singles, Josh 1, Daz IQ, Exile, shit. It was a lot to get a 12-inch out back then, but
totally.
I had quite a few.
You guys sold a lot of CDs, if I remember, too.
Nah. Below the Heavens dropped, and the label went bankrupt. So I didn't get no vinyl. Like, really? Fools were getting 75-page booklets in their vinyl, like mastery packaging. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got 7,000 CDs. Yeah. With a flyer for the cover. You know what I mean? Like, just one slip. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they sold out hella quick, like in a month and shit. You know what I mean? And that was it. The label went under.
Yeah, right. Know? Like, didn't you guys like never get royalties or something like that?
Yeah, we never got royalties. Rest in peace to the owner. You know, he went missing. Like, nobody was able to find him.
Of Sound and Color.
That's
crazy.
You know what I mean? The big homie Louis. And you know, we're like, what the fuck is up with our project then, dude? Like, you know, and so we ended up getting it back, you know.
Yeah, right. That's cool. Yeah, it's crazy to think that Exile was also making rap albums with Aloe Blacc too.
Oh yeah, that's how we met. Me and Aloe was featured on this group Science Projects album, and they had a little release party, like a release party dinner. I met Aloe. We started chopping it up. He's like, "Who you listen to?" I'm like, Elzai.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of him. He was like, he started kicking the rap, and I'm finishing the rap with him. Like, he like, yeah, Elzai is the fucking illest. He was like, yo, my DJ just did a song with them. You got to meet him, you know? And I was like, word? And the rest is fucking history.
That's cool, yeah. That was like, what was that when Elzai was doing like Europass?
Yeah,
like that era?
Yeah, right before that, yep. When he did Time Has Come on Exile's album,
right. Yeah. Weren't you guys gonna do a project at some point, you and Elzai?
Me and El, no, we toured together, but nah, I was gonna be a part of his first group, Breakfast Club, in place of him. You know, like how he replaced Dilla and Slum.
Yeah.
You know, they were gonna his old crew, Breakfast Club, with Tarak, Big Tone, and Dwelle. They were thinking of reforming with me, you know.
Yeah.
But you can't fucking replace Elzai and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like you can't replace Dilla, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
It's really interesting too that like both you and Micah, Micah 9, like who obviously have this album out now, like both almost got signed by Suge.
Oh,
which kind of I think speaks to Suge's ear, actually. Everyone.
I mean, he was a fucking man. Everybody's trying to get signed by Suge.
I know, but
his situation was a lot iller.
Yeah.
He had Dre like on his shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I like to think of alternate histories of like rap music. You know what I mean? Where it's like Freestyle Fellowship is on death row.
Come on, get the fuck out of here with Snoop and Corrupt and Dog Pound. Come on.
Like stranded on death row, and it's just like peace coming in.
Yeah, come on.
You know,
you fucking lose it, bro.
And then, so then like afterwards, basically, you get the deal with Warner Brothers like not long after, right? Like after
2009.
How did that
2 years after
come about?
The buzz was pretty big, you know, at the time. We had a little bidding war. I think it was Interscope. Again. And Warner was like open to everything.
Yeah.
They gave me an amazing deal. They gave me a 3-album deal, 3-movie deal, and a label. I was set. And then they asked me, do I want anything else? I was like, what? I'm fighting for this shit.
Give me a house too.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. Like, fuck. You know. But
who was the A&R there that signed you?
The A&R that signed me was it was actually the president of Sire who signed me.
Who was that?
That was Ryan Wally. His father was
of course.
Tom Wally.
Yeah. Ryan, yeah. What's up, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then he left,
Tom
right?
signed fucking Tupac, you know
totally.
what I mean? He was the president of Warner at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, fools just started getting fired, bro. And then all of a sudden, like I had great A&Rs too, like dudes who did like Water for Chocolate. Hip Hop was my A&R who did all.
Hip Hop, of course, yeah.
Jay-Z and Kanye.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Shit,
yeah, and like a real deep, like.
Yeah,
I mean, his name is Hip Hop, so like, you better be like, a really profound human being.
Come on.
So, what was it like working with Hip Hop?
Hip Hop was the coolest shit, bro.
Yeah,
they were all into my shit. Like, I was working on NoYork, and everybody was for it. You know, they thought it was crazy. You know, Ryan was like, "Yo, what's up with Timberland or Kanye though? Like, what the fuck?" You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, let me put on the homies first. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I never told you this because like we didn't talk at the time, but in 2009, I was doing a story on Jerkin, like the Jerkin phenomenon that was like sweeping LA. And Warner Brothers was signing all those people. And I went in, I think it was my friend Richie Abbott's office. And he plays me what became New York. This is like the early stuff that you were recording for it, right?
Oh, crazy.
And I remember just being like, this is like the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, word.
And I remember being like, I don't know how Warner Brothers is ever going to release anything this uncommercial.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was brilliant.
Oh,
you know,
man,
you had like the Samiyam beats, the Lotus beats, you know, it was just like, and at the time, like Low End Theory, I think a lot of, like, was really nobody knew about Low End Theory outside of like a couple thousand people in LA.
It was some LA beat scene shit. Beat scene shit was killing it in LA, you know what I mean? And it was just all producers again, like coming together, you know what I mean? And that project was me just going through all the illest producers in LA, you know, Daedalus, Madlib, Shafiq, Exile, Sam, Flying Lotus, DiBiase, Knowledge. You know what I mean? Like,
were you going to Low End Theory at that point, like a lot?
Yeah, we were ripping Low End.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw you play there a couple times. Yeah,
Low End was fucking crazy. And then came Our Future.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh, when they destroyed.
Were you at that show that night?
No, but that blew up the world. Everybody saw that footage, bro. Like, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, I'll never forget like being in the crowd and being like, what the fuck is what is this gonna translate to live, right?
That shit
and then Tyler came on in like the ski mask,
and you're
just like, and you're like, okay. Like,
I think they all had ski masks. I think they all had ski masks. Back then. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, it was an incredible moment. Yeah, I mean, that was an incredible time for Low End because they had, the Odd Future show, and then Tom York played like those 2 times, and Badu came that one time.
Yeah,
sort of like
it was a fucking crazy era, man.
Yeah, that was I look back, I feel like it was like sort of like how like people talk about like something like the Paradise Garage or like the Hacienda in Manchester or something like a classic kind of spot where again Prince one time came in, which I love that. I think about that a lot, where like. That's cool that Prince was like in his 50s probably at that point, or late 40s, but he was so tapped in he wanted to know what the thing was in LA.
Word.
James All City Jimmy once told me like he tried to go into like they had like a bathroom just for the residents at Low, and like Prince and like he was like, what the fuck is the door locked? And it's like Prince just like scurries out and shit. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Hell yeah.
So whatever happened at Warner, like were you just kind of in purgatory for a few years trying to get your album put out?
Yeah. Every time somebody got fired, it would be like a 6-month stall at the label, and everybody got washed out, bro. Like the whole label ended up getting bought out. You know, from the presidents, the A&Rs, everybody, and everybody who signed me was like, "Bro, we left, we're gone." So, and I was like, "Fuck it," and I just started dropping shit independently.
Was that when you did like the Godly Barnes and Her Favorite Color and like?
That's when I did Jesus. That's when I did Jesus. Put Jesus online, and then we talked to Nature Sounds about putting out Jesus in Her Favorite Color. Yeah. No, Her Favorite Color is one of the records that got me signed to Warner. You know? Okay. Yeah.
There was a super cool period I remember where like a lot of it would just drop on Tumblr, and you had no idea if it was like, official or like
back then. You know what I mean? We were dropping on MySpace like full albums.
Yeah, I remember. You know and you'd be like, I don't know if this is official or what, but no, it was a cool. It was a cool like underground like mentality. I feel like you know what I mean? Like you
the
were
blog era. That's what they call us.
Yeah. Did you ever meet Danny Brown at any of those times? Because I know he was coming out here.
I produced about a third of Danny Brown's "It's an Art" mixtape.
Oh yeah, of course.
He was out here for a while.
Yeah.
Me and Mainframe did that whole tape, and we were kicking it tough. Danny is a fucking man. You know? Hell yeah. He was ripping shit. I remember I met him. He just finished ripping some shit. I showed up to the studio. He's like getting out the booth. I'm like, oh fuck, what the fuck is this? And I just so happened to be recording my dopest rap, so I fucking blazed it too right after him. You know what I mean? Yeah. We were good and shit.
Were you always like pretty dedicated to writing? Like,
yeah, but producing, I remember when I was producing a lot, it did take a lot from me writing. You know what I mean?
I would imagine,
on, you know, I was trying to dabble into producing, but it takes a lot. You know what I mean? Digging and sitting there for hours learning to chop and all kind of shit, you know what I mean? But I loved it. I loved it.
When was that era? Like when you were like trying to throw yourself into producing?
I was producing from 07, 08 really. Like the end of 07, 08 to 2015.
And you're just like, what happened in 2015? You're just like,
then my studio got robbed.
Oh really?
Yeah, all my equipment and
where was
all
your
my
studio?
Records. My studio was downtown, but what happened is I was moving it, and I had everything in a fucking U-Haul, and I took that shit to the Compton Casino where I was staying and shit, and these motherfuckers just boosted my U-Haul, you know what I mean?
It's crazy.
Yeah. And my whole studio was in there.
Did you have like hard drives and shit? Like
hard drives,
music that like
all my masters from my first like 10 albums.
That's crazy. Were there duplicates or was that just
no duplicates, bro?
That's crazy.
10 years of collecting equipment and records and microphones. You know, my mic was like 5K. You know what I'm saying? I had a nice little lab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it took a lot out of me after that, and all I had was rap. You know what I mean? Like I felt like they took everything. You know.
That's crazy.
So I just started focusing back on just rhyming.
How did you overcome that period of your life? Because I'd imagine like that has to be kind of depressing. Like
yeah, that shit is mad depressing, bro. That shit fucked me up. I couldn't write raps for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years, you know. And Exile really got in my ass when we were working on the Miles album. I gave him like this trap album where I'm just cussing motherfuckers out every song. And he's like, what the fuck is this, bro? He was like, our fans are gonna be like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, he's like, this is not, you know what I mean? Who the people like, this is not what the people come to us for. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, you need to express what you've been going through, not how you feel really, as far as like anger. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, talk about this shit that you went through, you know? And that's when I sat down and started reworking the album for the Miles album, you know. And I found purpose again, you know what I mean, in my writing, you know. And that changed everything. Then I just fucking went full-fledged with the rap. You know, I was like, it was like rap saved me. It was all I had, you know. And it was there for me, you know.
You've said in interviews that you're a big reader as well.
Nah, hell no. I wish. I've read books, you know. I read.
Maybe it was a I was like, I swear I read that earlier. But
I dropped out of school, man. I was on some fuck books. It's all about magazines, you know. Fuck, you know.
Were you a big rap
magazine
magazine
collector? Let me just fucking watch a documentary or something before I, you know.
Do you have like a whole like collection of magazines when you're
I
like,
would get all the
faders,
and, you know, the faders, double XLs, and you know. But I eventually started getting into books. Like I cracked the Bible, and like I tried. This was probably my third time in my life trying to read the Bible, and this third time it actually worked.
You made it through the whole Bible?
I read 85% of it chronologically.
That's crazy. When did this happen?
This happened in 2012. I started, and I finished around 2016 when I stopped reading it.
What did you take away from reading the Bible?
It's my favorite book of all time. I think it's the greatest book ever. It's like I could go on about the Bible.
Yeah, I've never read the Bible, so you can.
I've
heard good things.
Oh my gosh, it's in real time. It's written in real time by kings, princes, warriors.
Yeah,
like motherfuckers. Like it's crazy stories. These fools is taking out thousands of people in a day. You know what I mean? Like documenting this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, fucking King Solomon talking about I got 700 wives. And
he was kind of wild. They don't talk about it that much.
You know, he got his own book though. He talk about it. You know, the Bible is wild, man.
And I guess King David wrote all the Psalms, which is interesting because that's
his father,
interesting.
Solomon's father. You know what I mean? Yeah, like King David was a beast. King David was fucking went up against Goliath. You know, and you would think he became a king as a kid because that's what was promised. But the king was like, I'm not giving my kingdom to this fucking kid, and chased King David like out of this fool was in the forest for like 30 years till the king died or some shit.
He hid in this place called En Gedi.
Come on, you know what's up. Yeah.
I've dabbled a little here and there.
Yeah, come on.
But I've always wanted to go through. Well, some of my favorite writers, like I think it's really interesting, like I think it was like Tolstoy, Thomas Jefferson, and I'm like I'm blanking on the third, but they wrote, I think it might have been Benjamin Franklin. No, it was not Benjamin Franklin. But they wrote their own versions of the Bible.
Oh, yeah, where they wrote, they took out all Jesus's quotes.
Or they made it more realistic, I think. Yeah, he took out all the supernatural stuff from the Bible.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of just like a more like, okay, I can believe this.
Yeah.
But it was like just mainly the philosophy.
Yeah, but it was only a few stories that were unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like Jonah and the whale. You know what I mean?
Like,
you know, like, but when you read in a story and you're reading the whole Bible chronology, it's a whole different
I mean, the book of Job,
experience.
like as like a philosophical parable, is like really
fucking
interesting.
Crazy, bro. Job is fucking crazy. There's so many crazy stories in there.
Do you consider yourself a pretty spiritual person?
Yeah, But that's because I studied a lot of religions, you know, and grew up in the church, so I kind of gravitated towards it afterwards, you know. My own understanding of it, you know, and but yeah, like I love, like I'm not religious, but my favorite religion is more science religion, more science, Islam of America, because of they study the 5 major prophets, so it's not like one religion.
Yeah.
They're studying Buddhism there, they're studying Islam, they're studying Christianity. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're open, Confucius.
Yeah.
And what are the 5 major prophets? Moses, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, and Jesus.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a good starting 5.
Yeah, come on, man. It's pretty crucial right there. You know, and not to mention the more science is who taught Elijah Muhammad and them who ended up starting the nation. You know what I mean?
Do you have a top 5 rappers? Is that impossible to say?
Yeah, I have a top 5. My modern is coming up because, you know, the modern rappers are coming up because they've been putting in years of work now.
Yeah, right.
But top 5 is Chris, Cube, Nas, Common, Planet Asia.
Planet Asia.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think I remember talking to you about how you said like that was like the only West Coast rapper that you were listening to when you were a kid.
Yeah, it was like Razkaz and Exhibit, and I'm like, where the fuck is the spitters, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. I feel like those guys could rap.
Hell yeah. No, I'm saying that's all. I felt like that's all I had, you know.
Yeah, the Golden State Warriors.
You know, I'm like, damn, where the fucking spitters?
Yeah, Saphir was amazing.
Saphir didn't crack my head yet.
He just didn't like.
No, Saphir's.
He's amazing, but I feel like if you grew up in LA, like you didn't get like the boxcar sessions.
I didn't get it right away. Yeah, it took me a minute to.
And also, it wasn't on the radio. It was kind of hard to find. Like, like Exhibit and Razkaz. Like,
yeah. You know, you heard if you was looking for some raw spitting shit in LA, nigga Razkaz was getting recommended. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Exhibit was coming up doing this thing, and then
you hear like Nature of the Threat for the first time, and you're like,
yeah, come on,
oh, it's a lot going on.
Like that shit took me a minute to break down too. Like, you know, like now I listen to it and I understand all that shit. Is fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah.
I thought I read somewhere that anyways, that's a whole different story. But yeah, Asia came out and Take It Back Home.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I heard him kick that shit. I said, what the fuck?
He's from Fresno. Spitting. He's from Fresno, right?
Yeah, he's from Fresno.
There'd never been a rapper from Fresno that anyone ever heard of.
Come on.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, the homie picked me up one time and was like, yo, who you listen to? I was like, man, I'm hearing about this dude named Planet Asia. He was like, dog, I just copped the EP. Pulled this shit out. I said, he's got a project. After that, it was a rap.
Yeah.
It was a fucking rap. The EP was crazy.
How do you feel about like where, I mean, it's like such a, I feel like this question gets asked all the time by people, but like, where do you feel hip hop is at? And I know that's a loaded question because like there's a lot of great artists that like have trouble kind of break through the mainstream as they always have been. And like, there's a lot, you know, but where do you see like the state of it right now? Like
I feel like it's at 300%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like 98, like in 98, it was at like 125%. It was just like too good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, what the fuck? Like, motherfucker, the money was too good. The fucking skill level was too good. It was just like premium shit. You know what I mean? It was beyond 100%. Now it's so loaded, bro. It's so like not saturated, but it's so many motherfuckers, bro. Like,
it's hard to keep track of. Yeah.
You definitely could find some dope shit.
Yeah.
You could definitely find some whack shit. You could definitely find whatever the fuck you looking for.
Totally.
Like multiple lanes of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many artists now. We are like 300% pushing and pushing.
Yeah.
You know?
And like in terms of, you're also like a big jazz head, right?
I love jazz. That's like books, man. Like the books I've read, I love them and shit, and I recommend the hell out of them. But like, if I told a jazz, like another motherfucker who came up during jazz that I'm a jazz head and started talking, he'd be like, "No, you're not a jazz."
It's like a
head.
labyrinth, man. Yeah, like it's crazy.
That shit gets so deep.
Have you ever read the Charles Mingus book?
No, I haven't read that.
Yeah, it's an amazing. It's part of it is like
I saw that documentary though.
Yeah, no, it's a really interesting book. I mean, part of it's like unhinged because you're like Charlie Mingus. You did not need to like spend 30 pages like in a sex scene, but then like
oh my god,
it's kind of raunchy. Yeah.
Was he part of the writing?
Oh yeah. It's he wrote. He originally wanted the entire book, I think, to be all like quotes, like a conversation back and forth, and then they were like, all right, you have to have like actual like narration.
Wow, I gotta peep that
It's
book.
Brilliant. Like it's one of the best jazz I mean, the Miles.
I read the Miles. Yeah, the Miles was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
bro. That's what introduced me to jazz. You know what I mean? I was trying to sample it for years and shit, and I read the book, and then I knew how to navigate. You know what I mean? I knew what I was looking for. I had an understanding of what was going on. You know what I mean? And I could appreciate the music, and then the gates just start opening.
Do you have a favorite Miles record?
Blue Haze. Ironically, Blue Haze is phenomenal to me. It's like his first album, kind of.
Interesting. I don't think I heard that one.
It was first released called like Prestige.
Okay, right.
With a number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like 8 songs, and then they re-released it as Blue Haze, like when he started blowing up.
Yeah.
And put a different order on it. Phenomenal album. I love it. It's mainly Miles Davis as opposed to him and Players, and he's doing, that bebop shit. You know what I mean?
What inspires you on a day-to-day basis?
More recently, it's been my son.
Yeah.
I went from doing like 2 to 3 projects at a time, and when my son was born, I found myself working on 10 projects. You know, right
now. Is this your first child?
This is my second child. Yeah. Right now, I got 12 I'm sitting on. You know what I mean? Like working out 12 different projects, and he motivates me to like make it happen. You know what I mean?
What are the 12 projects you're working on?
Yeah, I would love
yeah.
to just
tell the
give
world.
that up right now. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Secrets must be kept.
But yeah.
How did you get into like Freestyle Fellowship? Were you into that when you were a kid, or was it something that came later?
No, I got into Freestyle Fellowship. I forgot what it was that really, because I heard them, when I started getting into hip hop, I heard the album, and it was a little over my head.
Yeah, same.
You know what I mean? I was more like Far-Sided Out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
More like, native tongues. I didn't understand the styling at the time. And then something happened, and Bullies on the Block and Peace just became my dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like looking for more Peace shit, and then digging through Freestyle Fellowship, and it just started going, through each member.
Yeah.
Like it went to Jupiter, and I'm listening to Jupiter's like modern shit. His shit he's dropping, in real time and shit, like, the Cleaners albums and shit, and like just tripping out on Jupiter, and then it trickled to Micah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And AC has always been dope too.
Incredible. Like I feel like A Book of Human Language is like one of the most advanced records like ever created.
Oh yeah, come on, man. You know what I mean? Here I Am on the first album is my favorite song on the first tape. You know what I mean? I bang the shit out of Here I Am. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I love Fellowship, man. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy that I came up in LA without being on them like I should have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what type of monster I would have turned into. You know what I mean?
No one ever was like, oh, you should go to Project Blowed when you were a kid.
Nah, because it was like, I remember I was sneaking to get into Elements. Like the big homies, like Unity was gone and all the shits was gone. We were like, what the fuck were like big ass circles were disappearing. You know what I mean? Like big ass battle circles.
There would be like things like Audiotistic, like they'd have a festival like that.
Yeah,
but like there wouldn't be like random that I knew of. I didn't hear of anything. I didn't know about Project
in high school, coming out of high school, it was big ass ciphers everywhere you went.
Yeah.
The movies, the fucking at church.
Yeah.
Like a fucking cipher will spark off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everywhere you went. You know what I mean? And that started to like die out. I don't know why I missed Blowed. I just totally missed Blowed. I came up on East Coast shit a lot, you know what I mean, in high school. Yeah, man. And I just...
How did you find your style?
Common.
Yeah.
Hearing Common, yeah. Common kind of like made me like, I could talk realistically on the mic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's influenced my style the most.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you ever got to meet him or? talk about working?
I saw him one time outside of a Dilla event.
I feel like he would like your music. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Probably does. Yeah.
You know, shit. I've got a shout out from some OGs though. Q-Tip.
Yeah.
I was just telling a homie, Pharaoh, Most Def. You know what I mean? Like, you know, some OGs out there. You know, but yeah, Common, man. I would love to do a joint with Common. You know, fuck. But yeah, probably him the most. I try to be like Asia. I try to be like Micah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
you know, I've tried to make Ice Cube albums.
Yeah.
I never make it to those marks, but you know what I'm saying?
No, I feel yeah. Well, maybe in the 12. You know.
Yeah.
You just always got to keep trying. I think, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like that. Like, if you don't keep trying to like push forward or do something different on every project that you do, then it's like
you gotta try to progress. You can't get like comfortable where you at and just quit or call it a day, retire or some shit. Like, as an artist, you want to get better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta want to get better. You know what I'm saying? And for me, there's always somebody out there better. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, no matter what you do, you know, you'll find somebody. They may not be as known as you. You know what I'm saying? But they do this better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it is what it is. You know.
Are there any like thinkers or philosophers or just people you admire that, you know, like have kind of shaped the way you kind of process the world?
I'm not gonna bring it back to the Bible, but Moses is one of my favorites. Jesus is one of my favorites. Saul Williams is phenomenal. Bob Dylan, crazy. Amiri Baraka.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, the Tales of the Out and Gone book.
Yeah.
That shit is deep
as
fuck, bro. It is like at the beginning is so like relatable and normal, every day-to-day shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as it gets older, he just starts walking you through like omniscience and the afterlife.
Yeah.
It's one of the deepest books I ever read. You know what I mean? Amiri Baraka is fucking crazy.
And his son is now the mayor of Newark.
His son is the mayor of Newark?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Actually, I interviewed a woman that a brilliant poet and writer who he had children with named Diane DePrima. Like, she just died a few years ago, living in the Bay Area.
Wow.
Yeah. And they had a daughter who I think like works in LA, like also really smart radio.
Dang, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
I was gonna say,
deep.
Yeah, what there was like a period where you weren't putting out as much music. I want to say like maybe like before like Give Me My Flowers, like that period, or am I wrong? Or was there ever like a
Give Me My Flowers was
it like 2014?
2012, I think.
Okay. Was that just getting out of the deal with Warner's, or like what was?
It was getting out of the deal with Warner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I started dumping them out. Like Jesus and Her Favorite Color came out. It was 1 year I missed.
Okay.
That was 08. Like 07 was Below the Heavens. 08 I missed. Dropped like Johnson and Crass in 09.
Yeah.
2010. I think 2010 I missed as well. And then it was like Her Favorite Color, Jesus. Then it was NoYork and Flowers.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about like NoYork. Like how did that album get created? Because to me, it's like one of like, if not the great Low End Theory rap album, certainly one of the great Low End Theory rap
Hell
albums.
Yeah, good looks, man. How it was just the beat scene, really, just being cool in the beat scene with everybody, all the illest producers, and then getting my Warner deal. And I remember, you know, they said, if you sign with us, what are you trying to do? And I had the idea to do an album called Her Favorite Color.
Yeah.
But it was like produced by Shafiq, Tarak, and Wajid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was going to be like some crazy 3-part album shit. And my girlfriend left me, and I fucking did an album about her while I'm negotiating this deal and put it out called Her Favorite Color. And they're like, what the fuck? Are you supposed to give us this album? Like, what is this? You know what I mean? And I was like, bro, you know, sometimes the art takes precedent, you know what I mean? You know, over the money and shit, you know, and I just had to put it out, you know, and I was like, I'll give you guys something else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it took me like a year and a half to figure out what the fuck I was going to do, you know? And one day it hit me. I was just tagging, like doing art and shit, painting and cutting out shit and doing all kind of weird art, trying to inspire myself. You know, it's my first major project. You know what I mean? I did the same shit with Below the Heavens. Like took like a year before I figured out what I was trying to do. You know what I mean? And I just wrote NoYork. I don't know where that shit came from. I just wrote it, and then a couple days later, I was like, that'll be a dope Tumblr name, you know, for my art and shit. And I was like, that's the fucking album. You know what I mean? And I was like, I started working on it, and everybody thought I had an East Coast sound. You know what I mean? So for me, it was like, you know, it was gonna be my like, no, I'm not from the East Coast type shit. You know, and on some deep shit at the time, like reading like The People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn and shit, like on some NoYork, like no government type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like pre-colonialism type shit. You know what I mean? Like you know, I was trying to mix all kind of shit in there. You know what I mean? I was working with a lot of Islamic brothers at the time too. You know what I'm saying? So it was deep, man. It was a deep experience.
What's amazing to me about NoYork is that like you get a deal from Warner Brothers like with 3 albums and 3 movies.
Come on.
And then you're like,
I wrote a crazy movie.
And you're like, I'm going to make like this weird, fucked up, distorted record with You God and Edon, which I think is like one of the great, most subversive things. And it's an amazing, I think it's a masterpiece, like NoYork. I think it's like an amazing record.
Thank you.
And yeah, people haven't heard it like that. I mean, like everyone always says Below the Heavens is always the one that people, but I was like, for me, like NoYork is like kind of, still very futuristic. It is kind of like your Fellowship record in a way. You know what I mean? You're like, that's what the Fellowship would have probably been sounding like if they were like in their early 20s and in that era.
Come on, you know? Damn, deep, man.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
How did you end up deciding to get You God? Which like I love You God, of course, but
I was in New York. Yeah, it was so random. Like the homie was like, "Yo, I got to connect to Wu-Tang. You need a Wu-Tang food for your album?" And I was like, for some reason, I was like, yo, You God, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just heard his voice.
Baby Huey.
Yeah, Baby Huey,
deep voice,
man. I was like, You God, dude. Let's try to can we get You God? You know what I mean? And he came through. The food just popped up at the studio. You know what I mean? I was like, holy shit.
No. It's a funny
I got this idea. You know what I mean?
And how, did he just like lay? So you were in the studio with You God?
He destroyed it, yeah. He destroyed it. Went in there, he did the bridge on there. I had the idea for the hook, just saying that shit over, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, let me do some more shit, man. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
You know? Yeah, it was super dope.
It's a funny story. Like, so, like, I'm like a huge Wu-Tang fan. Like, you know, it's like one of my first favorite groups. And then I did this other podcast, but like I started to do a podcast, but it never aired. And one of the first guests we were gonna have was You God, and like You God came to my apartment, which is like really random because you don't expect like you're just like You God, and like it was funny because You God showed up early because it was Wu-Tang, so I figured he's gonna be like 25 minutes. Late, right? You know what I mean? You God's like 15 minutes early, and I'm like still in the shower, and my homie's like in the living room. And he's like distracting You God. It's like come out of the shower, like hair all wet, like, you know, like, and I'm like, hey, what's up, You God? You know, and I interviewed You God for like, I never came out. I really feel terrible because I need to put this up. It was good. He had just written a book, and so like we do this interview. It's like an hour and a half, goes really well, and then like You God's like he's like waiting to leave, but he's not like, and he's like it's like a murky gray day, and I like live in like Los Feliz, Silver Lake area, and he's like looking out over the hills. And he just looks at me through the blinds and he peeks back. He goes, "Where the titties at around here?" Yeah, I was like, that's the funny.
To say the deepest shit.
I was like, yeah, You God, like it's like a murky, like mystical kind of day, mercury colored, and then
where the titties at?
Yeah, and I was like, but you know what? That's exactly what I would want you. You're like, you are You God.
Come on.
You know, so and then you had Edon on it, which was also like who I think is one of my all-time favorite, like kind of men of mystery that like you know just kind of lives in the shadows. But
Edon is the dude, man. Beauty and a Beat was one of the most classic hip hop created albums. You know what I mean? Inspired the shit out of me, bro.
Really?
Yeah,
was
that album?
Like
majorly.
Tell me about like, were you always working with X, or was there like a moment where you guys didn't work together, or like?
Nah, we're always working. I mean, like now we're not working, but we're sitting on work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it feels to me like one of the great like hip hop friendships, like producer,
rapper,
we're
always ever. We're always working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you feel like his like production brings out of you that nobody else does?
Exile knows me better than anybody, so he has ideas. Like I meet up with him and he already has album ideas and all kind of song ideas, and you know what I mean? He already knows what I can do, so it's a lot easier working with Exile because we've been working together so long, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you feel like you still want to achieve in music?
And music,
I'm sure a lot, but
yeah, I mean, I want to do a full show to where like I'm rapping as fast as Mike and Nine.
Yeah.
I want to do that at one point. I want to do.
Were you ever like speed rapping when you were like
Premiere?
Young?
I mean, I'll be bussing.
Yeah.
I bust. If you go to my shows, I'm bussing, but I'm. You know what I mean? I could turn it up a little more. I saw Micah and AC terrorize a 45-minute set. Just destroyed that shit. It's probably my favorite show I've ever seen, you know.
There's certain rappers where I feel like it's like, I think about that with like, if you listen to like an old Cool G rap record, and you're like, it's like when people be like, well, aliens built the pyramids, because how could humans build the pyramids? You know what I mean? That's how I feel about like Micah, Cool G9, and ACLO. Like, good luck, you know?
Exactly, dude. Yeah, hell yeah.
Sorry, you said Primo song.
Primo, yeah, song with Primo. I could retire after some shit like that. Like, okay, I've done everything I needed to do. You know what I mean? Like real spit, I've never thought I would have. Today I just dropped my 22nd album, all of them on vinyl. You know what I mean?
That's
like
cool.
That shit is crazy. 22 albums. Like I'm blown away right now. Like, you know, like that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
well,
I feel like I have a friend of mine, like shout out Disco Vietnam, but he'll always be like, it's a body of work. And it's just like an offhand thing, but I feel like for every artist, that's like really what you're trying to create is like a body of work where it's like,
I don't know if I was gunning for it.
No.
But it happened like that. Like
I think you don't.
I love creating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll fuck around and look up and, you know, I just got a bunch of shit.
Do you have like a creative ritual or like do you have like a pattern that you fall into where you like are like a schedule?
Nah, I'm always looking for it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always looking for whatever it is to spark it.
Yeah.
You know, like when I can't write, if I'm not writing, I can't wait till I can write.
Do you write with a pen or you write on your phone or?
Nah, since probably 2015 I've been typing.
Like on a laptop or whatever?
Laptop or a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to clown the phone rappers. I don't know why. They got the light and everything in the booth. It's cool. My shit, I used to, at first I would delete my raps while I'm rapping them. Like trying to scroll and you select and press delete and shit. And you'd be like, oh, hell no. I just deleted the song.
A lot of people obviously thought you had kind of an East Coast sensibility when you first came out, but obviously I think as your career has progressed, you kind of have become like a definitive West Coast rapper, you know, especially in the underground. How do you feel like being from Los Angeles has shaped you as both as a musician and as a human?
Man, it's weird. I've been all over the world and it's my favorite place in the world. You know, it's like I have a deep love for LA. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I feel lucky as hell. I feel blessed to be from LA. It's just so it's like a privilege. You know what I mean? It's like having a privilege, man. It's I don't know. Yeah.
How has your relationship changed with the city?
It's just I've just grown more and more fond of it. The more,
really,
the more.
Where's your favorite place to go eat in
LA? So many vegan spots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
How did you decide? You're a pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
How did that come into being?
My lady became vegan. And
by default,
I was like leaning towards it, eating vegan burgers for years and shit. And, you know, I was like, you know what, let me try to change up my diet too.
Have you noticed any like dividends from going that way?
And
like feeling better?
Yeah, like them bacon burgers used to fuck my heart up, bro. God damn, I used to wake up at like, you know, I will fuck up a bacon burger every day.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 20? And if hopefully you're around in 50 years, but where would you like to be where would you like to be yourself in 40 or 50 years?
40 or 50 years?
Or like what is the
working on like my last film.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that film is that
still, like... man, I would like to. I just see myself progressing that way,
mm-hmm.
you know, making that turn. It's hard, bro. It's hard to get out of music, you know, and it's going to take for me, it's going to take a lot to jump into film like how I want to be able to get into film and be successful at it. It's not easy. You know what I mean? It's not something you could just do.
Did you ever do any of the projects at Warner, or did you start any of the projects at Warner?
I wrote the film. I had the director for it and everything. Great director.
Who was the director? Can you
fucking
say?
Khalil Joseph was going to do it. Yeah. You know, and NoYork was about to be crazy, bro.
It was going to be called NoYork.
Yeah, NoYork was going to be the first film.
What was the plot?
It's like a pyramid that follows this guy everywhere. You know, everywhere he goes, he sees a pyramid. You know what I mean? And it like takes him to different places. Mm-hmm. It was a short film, but yeah, it was
cool.
fire.
That's cool. What sort of films are you are you a Criterion Collection
Yeah, I love films. I find myself in 60s noir is my favorite shit.
Really?
Luc Godard is my favorite director.
That's cool.
You know, I got 40 of his. I got 40 of his films. I think he has 60 or something, and I don't think all of them are available.
Yeah.
So I got all of them.
Cool.
You know,
So
Fellini, all those fools.
Fellini,
you know,
Fellini,
Kubrick, Michel Gondry, P.T. Anderson, Wes Anderson.
Have you seen One Battle After Another?
No, I haven't yet.
No, I haven't.
That just dropped, right?
Yeah. I'm excited.
I gotta
to see
check
everyone.
that out.
Yeah, it's like one of those things.
That's P.T., right?
Yeah,
P.T.
Yeah. Have you seen Inherent Vice?
Yeah, I did see Inherent.
Yeah, I'm a big Inherent Vice fan.
Oh, word. Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
He's been killing it. My boy was like, he's killing Tarantino. I was like, whoa, fuck, pump your brakes.
Yeah. They can both coexist.
Yeah, they have to, dog. They have to. I was like, damn, PT has got heat. You know what I mean?
Well, I think there's probably a friendly competition that when you have it that do you ever have a friendly competition with any rapper?
Every rapper. Every rapper is friendly competition.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I guess my last question, but you know, obviously check out the new album with Micah. Well, we have a full Mike episode of you guys.
Come on.
What how would you like to be remembered?
As a great spitter. As far as right now, from what the legacy I've left and not the legacy I want to create, like this dude could rap, you know what I mean? He raps, you know, and if I'm a ghost floating around and I hear that, it's just gonna make my whole shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen. So
I
think people will say that. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming through. Truth hurts.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gold Diggers. Peace.
Boom, boom.